Hey friends, it's the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead, and I planted a row of corn today, and I've got to came in because I got to get supper started. We're just going to have a simple macaroni and cheese casserole. Now here I've got my water with a bit of olive oil boiling, and I use bacon on the top, but it's my homemade bacon, and it's a little saltier than store-bought bacon, and because it is not got a lot of water in it, because remember, store-bought bacon is impressed with cure and water. So I'm just going to, I parboil mine just a little bit to get a bit of the salty off, and then we'll put it on top of our mac and cheese casserole. Okay, there's our penny pasta boiling, and over here I have about, I don't know, 2 tablespoons of butter. We have a whole head of broccoli, chopped up and rinsed. We have a half of a large onion, some chives from the garden, some shredded marble cheese and some chunks of marble cheese, and about a tablespoon of Parmesan. I have some Keen's dry mustard, and milk, and pepper, and salt. Now, our butter is melted, and we've got about a 1/4 cup of flour, and we're just going to put that in there, and we're going to make our white sauce for dinner. Now, we were having a discussion about mac and cheese the other day, and in YouTube, and this is one thing that I grew up, my mother made really well, is homemade mac and cheese. Now we've just melted that butter and kind of browned the flour a little bit, and we're just going to pour in some milk now to make our white sauce or our cheese sauce. I sometimes add some cheese. Now let's get the flour off the spoon, and let's get the whisk going here. Alright, we're just going to work this till it thickens. But the secret ingredient, folks, so marble cheese for something like this is fine, but if all you have is mild cheese and you want a sharper flavor, give yourself a teaspoon or 2. Oh, I'm almost out. About a teaspoon or 2 of Keen's dry mustard or mustard powder, and that will put some zing into your sauce. Alright, our white sauce is almost thick enough. You don't want it too thick, for the simple reason is it's going to cook down some more in the casserole, and you don't want it all pasty and mucky. So you want a nice consistency. So this is just about right. We're going to turn this off and let it continue to heat while we build the rest of our meal. This was a favorite of mine when I was a little kid. Mom used to make food spread, because there was 5 of us kids, and my dad was a hydro man, and it took a lot to raise that many kids in one house on one income. So I've cooked, the pasta is cooked and rinsed and is nice and cold. You want it al dente, you don't want it overcooked or cooked to perfection, because again, it's going to cook in the oven. So now we've got 1 layer of our penny pasta. Now, you don't want the broccoli on top because you don't want it scorching. So we're going to put a nice layer of broccoli in here. And my broccoli was just starting to get a little yellow on the florets, so this is one of those let's use up stuff meals. Okay. Now, I've gone ahead and made a mistake and not put my chunks of cheese. Now, you see I have grated and I have chunks of cheese. And the chunks of cheese are supposed to go in the middle layer. But that's okay. I mean, look, that's one of the reasons I do those in chunks, because I occasionally forget when I'm busy talking to my friends on YouTube, and I occasionally forget to put it in there. There we go. We're going to sprinkle some chives on there, and we're going to sprinkle some onion on there, and we're going to get that all mixed in nice and lovely for added flavor. Now, you don't need to put bacon on here, but it is a really nice touch, and it's one of those meals that you can use up your canned bacon. It's good with your canned bacon for the simple reason is it doesn't have to be perfect. You can just sprinkle your canned bacon on top. Now we're just going to pour this white sauce all over here, just like that. And I forgot to mention, butter your dish, because if you don't butter your dish, your pasta is going to stick. Now we're going to take, and this is good with any cheese. Monterey Jack and sharp cheddar are my favorites. But this is mild cheese, so we're going to sprinkle the last tablespoon of Parmesan I have on there. And we're just going to take this and sprinkle it all over the top. Let's get the rest of our chives and everything in there. You don't want to miss anything. Now we have our poached bacon. And like I said, I slightly poached it to get some of the salt out, because with cheese, there's going to be quite a bit of salt. And we just layer the bacon on top. Now you can use back bacon, you can use ham. And there we go. And in this goes into the oven at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. So we'll be back when this comes out of the oven. And there it is, folks. Papa's not home yet. He's running a little late. And I don't want to touch this, but you can add more cheese if you want. But this was kind of an empty out the fridge night. So I have some leftover ham from Mother's Day and some leftover brown beans in a jar. And I'm going to dice some of them up and to put this on the side. Anyway, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead saying you don't need a lot of meat to make a really delicious, nutritious meal. Take care. Bye-bye.